recipe is of course vegan and plant-based. It is a plate full of vegetables with so many different flavors. This dish is really high fat, as I really did not care about how much oil I was adding to everything. However, you can really tailor it to however you like it to be. You can cut down on the oil, you can add more oil. You will need to have oil in it, however, you just do not need to use as much as I did. I went ham with it. I don't know why, I just felt like it. But yeah, it turned out amazing. I use a variety of vegetables as always. There's cauliflower, asparagus, cherry tomatoes, garlic, potatoes, chickpeas. Honestly, I wanted to add spinach, but I didn't have any spinach, unfortunately. But if I did, spinach would have been there as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you and shows you how you could cook vegetables in different ways. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I have other videos on my channel, and I've got more recipes on my blog. The link is in the description box. And do not forget to follow me on Instagram. I started off by cutting the cauliflower into a thick slice right in the middle. Cutting it from the middle ensures that you're gonna have thick slices that will stay intact. I then set the cauliflower steaks aside and had them washed. I then sliced one potato. It's important to make sure that all the slices have the same thickness, because that way they will cook evenly in the oven. You could use a bandolin here, it would make your life easier. I then transferred the potatoes into a bowl and I added some olive oil on top. I then added some salt and some pepper. I mixed the potatoes to make sure that they're evenly coated with the oil, salt, and pepper. I then added some dried basil and mixed it again. The potatoes are now prepped and ready to go into the oven. When you transfer them to a baking tray, make sure you separate the potatoes and you don't have them overlapping. Now for the cauliflower, I mixed some avocado oil with a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of coriander, and half a teaspoon of sumac. Make sure to mix it together really well. I then added the cauliflowers to a baking tray and I coated them with the oil mixture that we just created. Make sure you flip them and also coat the other side. This is what they should look like before they go into the oven. Both the cauliflower and the potatoes into an oven that has been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. We are going to move on to cook on the stove. So first I prepped the asparagus, I cut them into smaller pieces and I set them aside in a bowl. And I crushed some garlic. As always, use as much as you would like. I then chopped the garlic as fine as I could. I then sliced the cherry tomatoes in halves and set them aside in a bowl. I then added some salt and pepper to them and mixed them really well. I preheated some olive oil in a pan for the tomatoes and garlic, and I preheated avocado oil for the asparagus in a griddle. I then added the asparagus and I mixed it up in the oil. On the asparagus, I added some onion powder and some garlic powder. I mixed it up really well. I then added some salt and some pepper. Same time, I added the garlic to the pan and I let it sizzle for a little bit. To the garlic, I added the cherry tomatoes to saute it. When the tomatoes started going soft, I crushed them so I can release all their juices. I then left that to cook for a little bit longer. By now, the cauliflower and potatoes would have been done and they should look like this. Now to my favorite part, plating up everything. I then topped off my plate with some hummus that I found in the fridge, and then I added the sauteed tomatoes with garlic. Of course, I topped off everything with some ground flaxseed, and there you have it, cauliflower steak with a bunch of vegetables. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This recipe is so simple and so easy and so quick to make, perfect for meal prepping as well. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll be posting a new video every Saturday. And don't forget to follow my Instagram. See you next week.